Hello, Ultimate Autograph fans. I'm your new host, throwing a wrench in things. RJ Carvis in the main seat now. It's weird. Donnie has departed this earth. No, he is not dead. He's moved on to things.
Yeah, he's out. He's out in the world now.
Well, to my right, we got the man, the myth, the legend,
Adam Johnson. Thank
Sir
you.
Adam. And ladies and gentlemen, we have
making his debut.
The Donnie replacement, the rookie.
The rookie.
This is the rookie. He's never podcasted before. I think This is the first time with microphones and headphones all strapped in at once.
Not too worried.
So he's
ready.
Yeah.
Called up to the big leagues.
Yeah.
His name's Zach. These are his rhymes. No, so we're
see
gonna
how it
have
goes.
we're gonna have a new look podcast for all our massive listening audience, and football season's upon us, guys.
Yeah, it's the best time of the year. It's people like Christmas, people like summer, but I think for us, this is the time where we get the most excited.
I think it's one of the best. I mean, obviously with autograph values, basically turning into the stock market this season with rise and falls. Who's getting cut? Who's the standout guy?
A lot of good rookies.
The sophomore slump. Will it happen with a lot of that last year? The return of Le'Veon Bell. Will he be as good as he once was?
Young quarterbacks have been on the rise for a while, so we got plenty to look forward to.
So we're gonna segue into who are those breakouts going to be, and I'm gonna lead it off, Zach.
All
I'm
right.
gonna let you take the wheel and draft.
Yeah. So I mean, to my right we got that Juju Smith that helmet right there.
Yeah.
And I got to say James Washington. Their second year wide receiver, man.
Nice.
I really like what that kid's been showing, especially in the preseason and what he was showing at the end of last year. He's got a lot of speed, and I think they need another option there in Pittsburgh.
Do you think with Big Ben being old as shit, do you think he's gonna be? He's gonna be there?
I mean, you still have like James Conner running the ball, and so that really frees up a lot of things when you have a running game. And Juju needs someone on the other side. They signed Dante Moncrief in the summer.
Yeah, sleeper signing.
Right, but I don't see Moncrief's never been a guy to really produce big numbers. He's always been like a safe, like number 3 option when he was in Indy, and then I believe he went to Jacksonville after that. And he's never really put up the numbers that people thought. And I think James Washington is just going to slot in and start killing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of receptions to go around, targets to go around. I mean, no Antonio Brown, a guy who's up in the top 5, top 10 receptions and targets for years now. I mean, Washington by default is going to be getting a ton of those looks. So great pick.
Yeah, who do you got, Adam?
I got a lot. It's hard to pick one this year. I'm going to go deep sleeper. We talked a little bit about this off camera. Darrell Henderson, the running back for the Rams. I think we saw a little bit of a decline last year with Gurley late in the playoffs. I think Gurley's still one of the best running backs, but he's benefited from a nice career as far as health goes. Just the nature of the beast of the NFL. Health does catch up with you at some point. We hope he's healthy, but Darrell Henderson's going to be there when he needs that pick me up, and I think he's in the perfect situation, the perfect offense to get on a good team and produce and help his team win.
Not getting ahead of myself, but do you think with that with his breakout standout, do you think that helps the Rams, propels them back to a Super Bowl contender?
I think they still are. I mean, I think if Todd Gurley's your number 1, you already get a few points for that. But with a deep running back core, especially with Henderson being young, produced well in college, I think, that only helps a team that was already Super Bowl bound with or without him.
All right. Well, kind of a soft segue, but my standout player of the year, I'm looking for big things out of Hunter Renfrow. I was kind of intrigued by his career at Clemson, then coming in, being kind of featured in Hard Knocks, and John Gruden loves him, and hopefully Derek Carr can actually get the ball there.
Right.
But I think the kid's going to be a workhorse. He has the ability to be another Wes Welker, or just not a big guy that can
good hands.
Good hands, beat your opponent, make that 1 or 2 moves that frees you up. And I mean, he looked like, obviously they're just highlight clips, but it looks like in training camp he's just
consistent
shredding guys, and he's not having a hard time getting open. And I don't know, I think the Raiders will be pleasantly surprised with
I think too, we talked a little bit again off camera about how deep we could go around the circle and talk about a bunch of different people on that Raiders offense. Just now having Gruden in the second year, Derek Carr is also in the second year of that offense, a little bit more familiar, but a lot of young depth. Keelan Doss wasn't drafted. I mean, we've seen from Hard Knocks that kid's going to be
a stud.
Consistent. I mean, he's going to make the team. I think it's pretty obvious at this point. Darren Waller, a new name at tight end, big guy. Has a past in the NFL, but this is kind of his year to be a breakout guy. He's the number 1 tight end. So Josh Jacobs at running back, there's plenty of guys in that Raiders offense who are, I think, going to break out this year.
I think Waller, if he has a breakout season, comeback story of the
forever.
decade.
Yeah. The last of the millennium, really.
Just rock bottom, drug addiction, like doing whatever he could to get high, to getting cut 2 years ago.
Right.
And
basically admitted that he sabotaged himself.
Yeah,
to get out of the NFL.
He didn't want to quit. He wanted to make the NFL force himself
That's crazy.
out. And he's so humble on camera and everything too. I mean,
you never know it.
No.
And two years sober, he was saying something like that, which is incredible. And I think that could be a huge story. I think the Raiders could be better than we think.
Oh, I think they're going to be good. I mean, like I said, second year of everything, John Gruden. They brought in a ton of young talent. I think they have the pieces to put it together. I mean, they'll need some experience together, but I think in that division you have the Chiefs and the Chargers, which will be tough. But plenty of teams go worst to first every year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were one of them.
Do you think Derek Carr is enough to get him there? That's I think everything.
Yeah, I do.
Everything lives and dies with him.
I do. I think people are tough on Derek Carr. I think he's had a nice career to this point, but I think Gruden is smart enough to know what he can and can't do, and he's not going to push him to do stuff that he can't do. He's always had a good deep ball. He seems like a good leader, but I think with Gruden in that second year of offense and a little bit more talent, a little bit, Antonio Brown, a lot more talent on offense, a better running back. He really has the keys to the car, and Gruden just has to show him how to drive.
I think they really downplayed the whole the helmet issue on the show as
they
well.
Did.
Speaking of Antonio Brown, from the cryo, getting his feet shredded at a cryotherapy in France, to basically every other day, one day showing up at camp, the next day, there's a setback and he leaves, and it's just good for the Raiders front office for having patience with him. Obviously, you paid him that much.
You have to have patience.
You have to,
no choice.
You can't really walk away from something like that, but it just hopefully he's not toxic for the clubhouse, and hopefully him and John Gruden don't butt heads enough to really.
It'll be an interesting relationship to see, because they're both outgoing personalities, but in very different ways. So I think they have a mutual understanding, and hopefully it works out, because that team, if that team clicks, is going to be a fun team to watch and an easy team to root for.
Big things out of Abrams too. I think he's
cool.
the guy you're going to see his SIG price go up.
He's still a first rounder. He's got a ton of value already. But with Clelin Ferrell and Josh Jacobs, 3 first-round picks, there's a lot of value there in the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah. No, he's a fun player to watch. Abram, with how much he's already hitting guys at practice, and he's like, Coach, I gotta be able to hit.
Like hitting guys with no pads on, yeah.
Right. But I don't know. I guess I gotta reel things in a bit with them, just because it is Hard Knocks fever. It happens every single year. You get drawn into these guys, and you're like, wow, these are big stories on them. Like, you get attached, and you're like, wow, they really look good. But every team looks good going into the NFL season, and you got injuries. And I think if the Raiders get 1 or 2 injuries, it's just I don't think it's going to come together for them as much as we'd like to see it. Like, Antonio Brown, when he is on his game, is the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL. Like, undisputed.
Sure.
It's just his numbers speak for himself. But I don't know. It is his first year in the offense. He hasn't been practicing with the team at all, so there is no rapport there with him and Derek Carr or how the offense operates.
Right.
Keelan Doss is great and Josh Jacobs are great, but again, it's basically like Keelan Doss's first year in the NFL, like him actually playing in meaningful regular season games. Like, we haven't seen that yet. He's tearing it up in the preseason, but
he was also undrafted, so it's like they're very unproven. They got a lot of star names and a lot of star power, but if 1 or 2 of those goes down, there's not a lot of proven depth back there. Yeah. Talent's there, but the proof isn't quite there.
They are the number 1 boom or bust team, I think, going into the NFL this year. They can hit the ceiling or they can bottom out.
I agree with that.
And it was sad to see. We were hoping to get some good matchups. Packers, them out in Calgary, Winnipeg?
Winnipeg.
Yeah. And obviously the disaster with the
turf
and the field goal post having to be moved back because the CFL, it's in the end zone and left a giant hole. So playing 80-yard field, $300 preseason tickets with no marquee matchup, just third string guys.
That's tough.
We didn't get the look we wanted this week. Obviously, with this being the final preseason week, it'll be exciting to see the final cuts, the rosters get trimmed down, and who's going to be some more standout guys. But speaking of more standout athletes. Here at Ultimate Autographs, we'd like to announce that we signed our first exclusive deal. It's been a labor of love. The whole team, we've been been looking at a few guys, working with agencies to try to find that right first guy, and happy for me, sad a Chicago Bears fan and a Detroit Lions fan.
Right.
We represent the North here really well, but we went with Marquez Valdez-Scantling of the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Possible 2-3 receiver.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the number 2. And like you
absolutely.
said, even as a Bears fan, I think he was a Lions fan. Like we all as a team were very excited about him because we see the potential in him 100%. I mean, anytime Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback and the success he had last year as a rookie, I mean, we definitely know there's only going up from here. So it's a win-win, I think, for everybody.
He would have been one of my breakout picks if I already knew
He's up
that
there.
we'd be talking about him. But if it wasn't for that, he would have been probably my go-to choice. I
For
mean,
sure.
he's got Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball. A
Absolutely.
healthy Aaron Rodgers in a new look Green Bay offense that has got to be better than it was last year.
I mean, yeah, one can hope. With a very sad, boring Mike McCarthy playing this paper offense that seemed like they gave up about week 4. It'll be interesting, with Rodgers. When Rodgers is healthy, he targets anywhere between 8 and 12 guys a game.
Yeah.
So everyone's gonna get a lot of love, but seeing MVS step up into the spotlight, he's 6'4".
Yeah.
He's fast.
Huge.
I think it really just opens up another weapon. And Green Bay breeds receivers. I mean, look at
It's true.
Cobb, Nelson, Driver. I mean, look at all the guys they drafted.
And none of those guys were, your first, second, third round picks. They were all, your fourth, fifth, sixth
They all
round picks.
grew
so.
into the
Yeah.
offense as well. I mean, even Devontae Adams, he grew into that role, and now he's getting drafted top 3 in fantasy leagues and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
he's top 3 rounder for sure.
What is it? I would say last 15 years, they've developed 5 to 6
Pro Bowl.
like top 10 wide receivers, top 5 wide
Absolutely.
receivers in the league,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
gotta
and we
agree.
think Scantling's right there. I mean, he's next in line, no doubt about it.
which is it's exciting. But so yeah, fans, look forward to some cool events. We're definitely promoting our Minnesota event, a team that none of us are in favor of. But
Yeah.
No, not
We
too
won't
much.
see you there.
having guys like Chris Carter out there is going to be really cool.
Legend.
Yeah, bringing them to the fans. Lastly, we'll keep this one short because we're just getting back with the football season, September 5th.
Yep.
We got
Coming quick.
Green Bay at Chicago.
Yeah, it's gonna be a wild one.
The celebration of NFL 100 kicks off. Last year was quite the chapter 1 of this new, seems to be like an opening day rivalry thing the NFL's trying out with Rodgers getting hurt and the massive comeback. Me on an airplane throwing my cell phone up in the air and somehow getting it on the Wi-Fi connection, which was
Wow, that's impressive.
watching the
There you
end.
go.
But
That's the real story.
no, I mean, what do you guys think? What are the predictions? What are the
I think it's going to be close. I mean, I think a lot of people are down this year on the Packers because they had a little bit of a hiccup last year. I do think the new coach is going to be good. I think they brought back a lot of good talent, and then they brought in a lot of new guys, too, that are only going to help. I think it's going to be close. I think the Bears still edge them out. I still think they're the favorite in that division by a little bit just because of that defense. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's 21-17 Bears.
let's go to the Detroit Lions expert here.
See, I'm a bit more opposite on it. I don't think the Bears defense is going to replicate what they did last year, just because if you look through recent NFL history on really good defenses, like the Jacksonville Jaguars, that year that they created all those turnovers,
Right.
it's hard to replicate that the following season. And so I don't know. I think you might see a couple cracks in their defense this first game. I mean, I'm not saying the floodgates are going to open. They still have a great defense. I just don't think they're going to be that historic defense.
They lost a defensive coordinator, too. He's now the head coach of the Broncos.
Exactly. So you've
that'll help.
got to expect some changes there. I think Aaron Rodgers coming in healthy he's got MVS and Geronimo Allison with another year under their belts, along with Devontae Adams. Aaron Jones seems like he's finally broke loose of those McCarthy shackles that he was wearing.
Yeah.
I think the Packers actually edge this one out, and it's a bit. I'd have to go 31-14 on it.
Wow, that's not even close.
I don't have too much faith in that Bears offense. I'm going to be honest.
Wow.
So I definitely think the Fangio magic. He's a hell of a coach. I think that was a big loss. You can replicate schemes. You can obviously keep some of his things and add the new. I don't know. I think they had something special last year. They had an opportunity to be really good, and they just missed at a few pieces. I don't feel like they filled their wide receiver slot as well as they could have. A lot riding on Montgomery being a rookie running back, hopefully to step into that number 1 running back spot, which big shoes to fill in your first year.
Fair enough.
And me, the overzealous Packer fan, I like to point out that the Bears just don't beat a healthy Aaron Rodgers ever. It's just doesn't happen. And I could be stupid and arrogant, and probably a lot of you think so, and I'm fine with that. But I just think, healthy Aaron Rodgers coming into the game with a new offense, new look on things, kind of shedding that old heavy dead weight of Mike McCarthy. No offense to his actual body stature, but I think Aaron Rodgers comes in and does what he's used to doing and accustomed to doing, and I'm calling 17-3.
Okay.
Wow.
But you get a field goal.
I was gonna say, yeah. Well, hey, that's
you
fair.
get a field goal.
Do you guys even have a kicker that you're keeping on the roster?
This new guy looks okay.
He's been
he
hitting
looks okay.
40 plus. He's fine.
He just hit one in preseason.
I thought he
over
missed
50.
a field goal in preseason.
He did.
Though.
He missed one, but his last one, he nailed one from plus 50.
That's so
pretty
much
easily.
pressure. I mean,
Yeah.
The Bears fans are going to be on top of him the second.
The one good thing about this kid though is he's kind of like, it just doesn't get to him. Like it's not that he doesn't understand it, but he's like
Doesn't care.
I don't know if he just doesn't care, and I think that's the kind of kicker the Bears need is some guy who's just like whatever, just on to the next play type attitude, and that's what it looks like he has. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Can't get any worse. So
No.
we're good.
No.
And it's interesting with field goal kickers that stigma could hang, like it happened with Mason Crosby. It could hang around.
Right, and that's
Like,
another
Eric
that's a name too that could end up kicking for the Bears week 1 because if I don't know what his situation is, but I know that there was a battle there up there with. Crosby
I
and
know
someone
it's
else.
been a battle. You hope that
I don't know.
I don't know. I hope anymore actually, because if he had the year he had 3 years ago, which was just, or 4 years ago, which was terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. Obviously, I love our getting into the special teams talk. Our
Yeah.
young punter from Alabama.
Yeah,
But
he's good.
no, special teams can make. I mean, I think it made
It can break you for sure.
you look at Parkey, and if he made a few extra field goals this past season,
Yeah.
you have the first round. The Bears have the first round
Yeah,
bye.
I mean, if we would have beat the Dolphins, which again that was like plus 50, so I mean you can't blame a guy for missing that, but yeah, that would have helped. But you can also blame the Bears for losing to the Giants that Parkey had no part of either.
100%.
So it's like
There's a lot of things.
it could be a million things, but it'll be interesting this year. I think that division. Top to bottom, even the Lions. I mean, even for a team that's supposed to be bad, they're going to be a good bad team, if not, right up there with them. So we'll see.
I don't know. I don't like the label bad on us.
No, I don't think you are bad, but from what other people are saying, they're the bad part of the division.
Right.
I think they're just going to be pretty decent. I mean, for sure.
The top to bottom, that NFC North is strong.
I think you could shuffle that anyway, and I wouldn't be surprised.
This is going to be the division again this year that you get both the division winner and then
And then
obviously a
two
wild card.
wild
cards.
Yeah,
Absolutely
they're producing they're producing a wild card.
Yeah. No doubt.
It's the years where we either are just the division where 8 wins gets
Right.
you in,
Yeah.
or two.
Well, this
two
might
teams
be the
coming
year
over.
that 8 wins gets you in because I think they're all going to beat up on each other.
Oh,
We were talking that
absolutely.
before. Seahawks a couple years ago, 5 years ago, they were 7-9. They made the playoffs, and these guys might beat up on each other all year. And the Bears got a tough schedule now because they're playing
Definitely.
first place teams, and the crossover games with the different divisions they're playing are going to be tough. I think AFC West this year for the NFC North, so that's going to be a tough one.
Oh, absolutely.
It'll be a fun matchup. Well, fans, we're gonna get wrapping up here. Last announcement: we're doing a Kyler Murray speed rep giveaway.
Ooh, wow!
So-
I didn't even know
All
that.
right.
Super easy thing. You're just gonna go to the website after Labor Day, so September 2nd, next Tuesday. You're gonna get a little pop up. You'll see the information about it. You'll see the helmet. Pop your email in there, some contact information, and you're gonna be entered to win. At the end of the month, we'll be
Be a nice freebie.
drawing a winner, and hopefully someone has a nice, beautiful Kyler Murray helmet.
Yeah.
And is enjoying his 4 wins. No, Arizona's not winning 4 games.
4-0.
4-0. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's not happening.
Yeah,
But
right.
no, we're going to be doing a cool first of many giveaways, a lot of new social engagement.
Sweet.
We're a new look Ultimate Autographs, right? Since
Yeah.
we're retooling this. And hopefully next week you're going to be getting some exclusive athlete content. We're really hammering down on having some special guests. And it's going to be a fun football season here at Ultimate Autographs. So
Definitely.
thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.